Hey guys, so we are back with another video. This one is what are they thinking and feeling about you? Just kind of what's going on in the connection. What does spirit want us to know about this connection and about the feelings that the other person has for you? So I just got these new Sundays, and so I really love them. They're kind of kitschy and cute. So we're gonna start with number one is the chocolate one. Number two is the blueberry one. Three is orange. I think that's orange. And four is like raspberry, pink. And I also wanted to say if you guys want to see a specific kind of reading on here, like obviously I'm a new channel and I started this channel to try to help people and to try to give you guys guidance. So if there's a certain area of your life that you want to see a reading about, say like career, a specific career thing, or a particular kind of question about love, like what are his late night thoughts or whatever, just like a more specific question, definitely drop it in the comments because I'm totally open and I want to help people. So if there's something that's been on your mind, I'm more than happy to ask spirit if that's a good reading idea and do it. So obviously it can't be super specific, like what does my cousin Brian think about my cooking or something, like I can't do that specific, but I can go with more general life readings. So if there's a specific area of life you want to know about, leave it in the comments and I will very likely do it for a video. So just wanted to put that out there. And yeah, I hope one of the piles is calling out to you. I love it when that happens, and I often find those are the best readings when one is just kind of screaming your name and you almost can't look away. But sometimes that doesn't happen, and when it's not coming to mind right away, I will often try to ground myself, take 3 deep exhales, and then see if one calls to me. Sometimes I'll close my eyes and see what comes to mind. That's kind of why I try to do different colored items, like very contrasting colors, so that if you see blue, you know exactly what pile to go to. But yeah, hopefully one is calling to you. I'm going to be quiet for a few seconds so you can really tune into the energy. Okay, so hopefully one called out to you, and if not, feel free to rewind and pause and spend a few more moments with each of the piles. But we're gonna go ahead and jump into pile one. Hey pile one, so we are here with your reading. You guys have this chocolate one, which I thought was like mint chocolate because of the green, but it's a slice of kiwi, so interesting combination flavor wise. I don't know about chocolate and kiwi, but I'm sure it's good. So anyway, and I love chocolate, so anyone picking chocolate, I get it, I support you. But let's get into your pile and see what you've got going on with your love situation. Oh, we just had one fly out. So that's the Chariot. So how does pile one's person feel about them? Okay, I'm already feeling like this longing coming through. Interesting. Feels really strong, actually. I really feel like they miss you. Like I'm already getting such a strong vision of how I think they're feeling. By the way, I'm filming this from a different angle than usual. So let me know in the comments if you like this or the other way I was filming. That one just kept like bumping, and so I figured I'd film from this angle. Sorry, because I know you probably want to know about your reading, but just if you like this angle, let me know, or if you prefer the old way. Anyway, with that being said, yeah, I feel so much longing coming through this reading. Like, it doesn't surprise me. You've gotten a ton of cards that to me represent rumination and someone just thinking and thinking and kind of being stuck in their head, because I definitely get that energy from this person. Do you need any more cards for pile one? I feel like there's a lot of desire to come towards you. We have the Ace of Swords and the Page of Wands. So this is someone that really does think about, like, should I reach out? Should I not? they want to. They have this desire to think about you, but I also think that they're really tired. Like, it's almost like, you know, when you're like exhausted and you're like laying in bed and you're like, I need to go brush my teeth. I know I need to go brush my teeth. Or at least maybe I'm the only one who does this, but I feel like other people do it too, where you're like, I need to go wash my face, or I need to wash my makeup off, or I need to brush my teeth. But like, you're so tired that it's almost like all you can do is just lay in bed and like stare at the ceiling and be like, what? I need to get up. I need to get up. And that's kind of like this person. I feel like there's something going on in their life that's really draining them of energy. I don't know what it is, but I definitely feel like this kind of tiredness, but then it's like, they know they have to come to you. They're thinking about you. They want to think about you, but I feel like there's something else on their plate. You know, there's all kinds of reasons why someone wouldn't come forward, but I feel like in this case, it's just like exhaustion. Like, it's not like they're insecure or blah, blah, blah necessarily, although it could be. We'll get more into the other cards. But I feel like it's just sometimes like it's a simple fact of like your body being too tired, you know? Okay, all these cards came out. Okay, so we got flirt, we got past life relationship, flirt, chemistry, pay attention to the red flags, playfulness, and soulmate. And very soon. I feel like this is what they want. They want it to be soon, but I don't know if that's going to happen, just because I do think that they're like physically exhausted, kind of, you know? I feel like they want to come to you, but it's kind of like, dude, I don't know if you can. You may want that, but, you know, if you're like literally completely exhausted, like hunched over in bed all the time, you're probably not going to be able to be like, you know, Superman coming in to save Lois Lane. Even if that's what you want, it might not be what is able to happen, just physically, reality-wise. So how does pile one's person feel about them? Okay, so we got the Page of Swords reversed. We got the Judgment. We got the Seven of Cups. Interesting. And we got the Three of Cups. Okay, so that's interesting. We got the Nine of Swords. So yeah, this person is spending a lot of time kind of feeling really... Oh, we got the Ace of Swords reversed. So 2 Ace of Swords reversed. So yeah, there's this real, well, one's reversed, one's upright. So there's this real desire for communication on their part. I feel like they fantasize a lot about reaching out to you. They fantasize about talking to you specifically. It's like communication. They really want communication with you. But at the same time, it's like blocked. It's not able to really happen. I feel like they've probably spent a lot of like typing out texts, you know what I mean? And then deleting them, like being drunk and typing something out and then like waking up the next morning and like completely erasing it and being like, oh my God, I can't believe I typed that out. I'm so glad I didn't send it, kind of a thing. Like, they want to communicate with you so badly, but then they hold themselves back from it, you know? What's interesting is we did get the Three of Cups, which is a third party card. And so I just feel like they have, I don't know if it's another person. I'm not sure. I just feel like, and this is a general reading, so it can be a third person for some people, and for others it could be, you know, just something else in their life that's taking up a lot of time. You know, like someone says, like work is someone's mistress, kind of a thing. Like, I feel like they have another almost like partner, because this thing takes up so much of their energy and so much of their time that it's almost like they're in another relationship because of how much effort it takes up. So how is pile one's person feeling about them? Oh my God. Oh wow, we got the Knight of Cups. So like, look at this guy on this card. Like, look at him. Just look at him. Sorry about that, guys. Someone was at the door, so I had a little interruption. But look at this card and look at the guy on it. Look at his emotions and look at his expression. He's just, you know, crumpling up that paper, like desperate, so upset, and ruminating on the girl that got away. And like, what is she, you know, what is she in now? Is she in this relationship? He's like up all night drinking and thinking about it. And I'm not saying this person is drinking or anything, but I definitely feel this energy of like constant rumination. Like they just can't kind of get past it. You know, they know that they're supposed to reach out somehow. They know that they're supposed to speak to you, and that's what they really want. They really want communication. There's all these cards that are about, you know, wanting to initiate communication, wanting to actually reach out and, you know, and start talking, but then there's like a block happening. So what does pile one's person think of them? Wow, so we got the High Priestess, which is pretty cool. So they think of you as the High Priestess. They think of you as really powerful. We also got the Ace of Wands reversed. So the Ace of Wands is kind of like the ultimate sexual card. So they definitely have sexual fantasies for you. And again, there's this desire to initiate action. There's this thinking about, and you guys got the Two of Cups reversed. So the Two of Cups is also about like deep loving relationships, but obviously that's blocked. So I'm guessing for most of you, this is someone that the relationship is somehow blocked. I mean, it could have been that you were in a relationship and there was a breakup, or it kind of fractured, but I feel like for many of you, it just never kind of got off the ground, kind of a thing. But they think of you as the High Priestess. So they think of you as this very powerful, very spiritual person. Even if you're not someone that like is openly about tarot or, you know, astrology or anything like that, they can sense this energy from you as being like spiritually wise. I feel like they see you as a real catch, you know, like in their mind, you're kind of like as good as it gets. Like I feel like they feel that you've got a lot going on in your life. I see you as feeling, as the energy I get from them towards you is that they see you as someone who kind of has their act together, someone who's really smart. Even if you feel like I don't really have my act together and I don't really, you know, like I'm a mess, that's not how they see you as. I feel like even if you're not like a type A type of person who like has a schedule and, you know, makes to-do lists, which you could be that way also, but even if you're not, I feel like many of you may not be that way, but they see you as just someone that really has their life together, is really smart and organized in a way that they don't see themselves as being, you know? So it's kind of like this relationship where they're kind of in awe of you. So what just popped into my mind is this statue called the Adoration. I'll try to remember to link it in the comments, but you could Google the Adoration statue. And it's by this guy, I think it was Stephen Schilling, but it's by a guy named Stephen, Stephen, and the Adoration statue. And it's like this guy who's like this powerful, muscular warrior looking guy. I mean, I don't know if he's a warrior, but he looks like one. He's got like all these muscles and he's like hunched over at the seat of this woman and like kind of like worshiping her. Like he's like at her feet. Like he's like so reverent towards her. And I that just popped into my mind. And I saw that actually just before this reading and I was like, wow, what a cool statue. But they're bringing it to my mind, and I feel like this is how this person views you. Like, you might think this person is really amazing, but I feel like they're really in awe of you. You know, they have this sense about you that like you have so much going on, you know, and that they're not going to be able to find someone who's as incredible as you. So let's find more. What is how one person thinking about them? Okay, so this is from my new pile. So I haven't used this deck as many times, but we got gavel, involvement with the law. broken ring, parting of the ways in either romance or business, frying pan, troubles, accusations. So I feel like, like I said, I feel like this person has a lot on their lap, you know. I'm hearing from spirit that they just have a lot going on, you know. They have a lot to deal with, and that could be like this gavel. It could be even someone who's had involvement with the law in like run-ins, like, you know, maybe something petty, like they got in trouble for, you know, smoking weed or something like that. And it could even be bigger stuff, but I just feel like this person has a lot of stuff to deal with. This is kind of a period of hardship for them, I think. So I could see why, like, they're feeling so tired, feeling a little bit overwhelmed, feeling like they don't really have the room or space in their life to, you know, reach out to you and like have this great romance. Okay, that one flew out. Bird flying. News is on the way. Wow. So that matches to how this person really, really wants to reach out to you. I just see that in so many cards. Like there's this real desire for communication. There's this real desire to speak to you. And this is something this person spends a lot of time thinking about. I mean, it's not just like, oh yeah, I'd like to talk to her, but like whatever. It's like this person is like ruminating on it all the time, you know? This person is constantly thinking about you, and constantly like wishing you guys were in contact, constantly feeling like I wish I could just say this to her, if she could only understand this, kind of a thing. I think this person also worries about your perception of them. That's coming in really strong. Like I feel like that's kind of where maybe the gavel thing comes up. Even if they don't have issues with the law, I just feel like they think that you would be like judgmental of them in the way that like someone would be judgmental of, you know, someone who went to jail or something. Even if they didn't go, it's like kind of like I'm getting that image of like someone who has a boyfriend and they have to introduce that boyfriend to their family, and the boyfriend, they're like, oh, and yeah, he just got out of prison, kind of a thing. And like the reaction of the family, like I'm seeing that scene play out, even if this person is not in any way been to jail or anything like that, and they're like a straight edge person. Their opinion of themselves compared to you is just that you're so like organized, have it together, and powerful, and then they just feel like they're kind of a mess. And I feel like they also don't feel like wealthy enough to come to you. They also feel like they don't have the financial situation they would like to have to come to you. That's, you know, something they think about is like, how or why would she want to be with me when she's got everything she has going on? They view you as very successful. That just keeps coming through. I don't even know how to describe it fully, because it's kind of like high priestess energy, but also mixed with like being very like almost Capricorn-y or earth signy. Like I feel like a lot of times a high priestess is like a Pisces, kind of very spiritually wise person, but then sometimes that can come along with being, you know, like when you talk about Pisces, at least it can be kind of flaky, or, you know, not have or be almost spacey because they're in another dimension. But I feel like they see you as having the high priestess covered. Like they see you as being very psychic and powerful in that sense, but they also see you as being like the type of person who has their like school life figured out or their work life figured out, and then they have their, you know, monetary life figured out. They don't see you as someone who is kind of like spiritual woo-woo and kind of a mess, you know. They see you as very organized and kind of regimented, and I feel like in many ways they feel like they just don't fit in. They feel like they are too outside the norm for you. Like they're not going to fit in with everything you have going on. Like they would be too, like just outside the norm. I don't know how to describe it, because the Hierophant really talks about fitting in with like, you know, society and conventions and stuff. And they just feel like whatever you have going on, I dropped another card. They feel like they just wouldn't fit in. Oh, wow. Aw. So yeah, they really love you. I mean, I also didn't mention it because I pull these cards so fast that sometimes I pull them all out and then I see what spirit brings my mind to. But I mean, I should have mentioned you guys have past life relationship. I think you guys had soulmate. Yeah, you guys had soulmate chemistry. I mean, this is like really a deep love they have for you. They really, really like you. They really respect you. This isn't just like a crush or something where they just don't really care, you know, or they're like, yeah, she's okay and she's hot. No, this is like deeper emotion. So what does pile 1's person think of them? Success. Yeah, they see you as very successful, like I was saying. I'm going to pull out all of these. Oh, okay. They really want to, I feel like because I keep getting communication from them in here, they're just using this reading to communicate, because I don't know why they've thrown out so many cards, but I feel like I should take all of them. So yeah, I think that, you know, they see you. There's so many cards here about like success and money, and I feel like at the end of the day there's a lot of intimidation here with like she wouldn't accept me as I am because she's so successful. She has so much going on that there's no way that she would be with someone like me. And you might be like, dude, you're crazy, but that's just how they view the situation. They see you as, you know, I also think there's this aspect of them being afraid of your opinion of them. Like, I feel like that holds them back so much, is this fear of rejection and just this fear that you're so much better than them. So like, why would she ever want to be with me? Of course she's going to reject me. Of course she's not going to be with me. She's going to be with someone else. In their mind, you probably would be like the type of person they could see dating like a model or like a famous multi-millionaire playboy. Like, even if that's totally not you, that's the type of person they could see you as. That's what they see you as, like your league. And so they just feel like completely outside of your league. And I think that's what really wreaks havoc in their mind, and that's what makes them not want to reach out, is just this comparison. They're constantly comparing themselves to what they think you deserve, and in their mind you deserve like the best of the best of the best. And I think that, so they put up kind of walls to kind of protect themselves, and I feel like they also feel a wall coming from you. Like, they feel like sure that if they were to reach out for whatever reason, you would reject them, or you would say no, or you would, you know, I don't know why. I think this is a general reading, so it's going to be different for everyone. That sometimes it could be rejection because they did something wrong. But I feel like for other cases, it's just rejection because, because this is talking about a misunderstanding. But I feel like in other cases, it's like, this is just their perception. They want to access you, but then they see you as being like up on a pedestal, almost like untouchable, like this beautiful, perfect person that they'll never be able to come to and actually access. And so this is what causes them to like hang back. And I do see them like typing out those texts so many times, trying, you know, wondering if they should send it, like typing it, deleting it, being drunk, talking to their friends about you, kind of a thing. But then it's just like, no, she'd probably think I'm crazy if I reached out now, kind of a thing. Like, it might have been a while too since you guys talked, and so this person is just constantly, you know, convinced that it's been too long, that you guys aren't going to end up together, that there's no point, that you'll think they're like weird and whatever. And there's this fear of judgment that's just threading through like the whole reading. It's just thinking of you and then being and wanting to move forward. I mean, that's something that comes through really strongly, is like they want to talk to you. They want to be in contact with you. I think that it's almost like no other woman has compared since they've met you. They're just obsessed. Like, they're just fixated, really. That's the energy I get. Like, I'm actually also seeing like Miley Cyrus and Liam Hemsworth. I feel like when that happened, so many people were like, he has so many other options. Like, why on earth is he with her? Because, you know, a lot of people like don't like Miley or think that she's, you know, does some things that are like unattractive, I guess. But people were like, wow, like he could, you know, that was the only woman he really wanted for all those years. And now obviously they're divorced, so it's not a happy ending. But I just feel like people at the time kept questioning, like, what does he see in her and stuff? And I'm not saying that you're like Miley Cyrus and he's Liam or whatever, but it's just like, I feel like sometimes with love, one person is just completely locked into the person. They can't see anyone else. It's almost like you could meet the, supermodel of the, the most famous supermodel in the world, and you'd be like, who was that? Oh, I didn't really notice, because you're just so obsessed with that one person. And I think that that's how this person is towards you. It's almost like they stole pile one and they like burst in because they were like, I'm not waiting. Get out of the way. I'm talking about my feelings. Like they want to talk to you so badly, and they're so eager for you to know. I feel like they want to tell you that they do view you as so beautiful. Like them holding back or them not reaching out is not a sign of lack of interest. I know it may come off that way, and in your mind, I feel like sometimes you're like, well, they probably never really cared. Or if you brought this situation up to your friends are like, he's obviously not into you, like he hasn't reached out or something, like just get over it. But he's like, no, that is not the case. That's actually, I hate when people say stuff like he's just not that into you. Like that whole book was about, if a guy's not asking you out, he doesn't like you. Or, there's also the saying, which I like in theory, but it's if he wanted to, he would. But the fact is, people, like, girls are complicated, but guys are complicated too. Humans are complicated in general. And someone can really like you and not display that and not feel comfortable coming forward. And so it's actually not the case. The older I get, the more I realize how complicated everyone is, and so obviously in order to have this relationship move forward, at a certain point, this person is going to have to overcome their, self-esteem issues and realize that they need to speak to you. They need to be comfortable with actually communicating with you, because, it's not so much the best for like a functional relationship. But I also think we can acknowledge that as far as their emotions towards you are really strong. Their emotions towards you are just, wow. So we just got between two worlds and higher power. I do feel like this person almost exists, like they exist between, like, even whatever they're doing, they're kind of always thinking of you. It's almost like they're on this plane, like they're in this world when they're like going about their day and stuff, but they're also on the astral plane dreaming about you, thinking about you, trying to manifest you. And I do think that there is a higher power overlooking this connection. Round and round is reversed. So that kind of talks about like a situation that just keeps repeating and just keeps happening. And so I feel like what they're saying is this, since it's reversed, this is going to end soon. Like, I do think that this means that this person is going to reach out to you, and it's not going to be like, 30 years in the future. I hate when, like, I've had readings and it's like, yeah, like, he's not going to reach out anytime soon, but he'll reach out eventually. And I'm like, I don't really want to be reached out to when I'm like 65. Like, I'm good at that point, and you can just save that email or save that text, because I'm not interested at that point. And so I don't feel like you have to worry about it for this situation. I do think this person is going to reach out. I mean, honestly, they have so much desire for you. They have so much like intensity that they feel towards you, that I think that even though it's kind of being blocked right now and there's this self-esteem or comparison issue, I think that they're not going to be able to resist it for that much longer. So we also got time for a nap, which again, I just think this person's really exhausted. I think they have a lot on their plate. I feel like if anything, this connection kind of exhausts them a little bit also, just because they do spend so much time thinking about you. And anytime you're ruminating on something, even if you are, it's a positive thing, it kind of saps your mental energy a little bit from being able to think about, whatever you have going on. If you're constantly thinking about another person, but you're trying to like do math for like a homework assignment, it's going to take you longer to do that homework assignment, and it's going to take you longer at work and all the, other areas of your life. So I just feel like this person spends a lot of time thinking about you, a lot of time like wishing that they could talk to you or imagining what they would say to you or wanting to explain things to you. And it's just like a constant loop in their head that kind of takes their mind away from like work and other stuff. So it's not a bad thing, but I just feel like this person has a lot of exhaustion, and that's something to acknowledge, because I just think a lot of times when I do these readings, I am very blunt. If you watch my other readings, I'm very, very blunt. And I will say, if I don't think a guy is acting right, or I'm like, this is a lame excuse, like, come on, figure it out. But I'm feeling the exhaustion coming from this person. I think that they are just honestly they have a lot going on in their life, probably a very busy schedule, or like a demanding work or school situation. But genuinely, I feel like they have a lot of physical exhaustion, and there's really nothing, you can do about that. Like times in your life when you're just being like hammered and you just have to physically just keep going. I mean, that really takes a toll. So I also think that's a major factor holding back things from moving forward in this relationship. But I wouldn't be surprised, because I do think this relationship is being watched over by a higher power. So I really wouldn't be surprised if that's being done on purpose, just to like slow things down a little, because I think this connection is so beautiful. The love they have for you is really pure. Like I feel this purity. It's actually really pleasant. I'm like, can I just hang out and do this reading for like 3 hours, because I am loving this vibe of this emotion this guy has for you, or this girl has for you. Like, it's just so beautiful. They really view you so sweetly and like have so much respect for you, and it's like they just see you as amazing. Like, this is why I'm saying, like, I don't even know if this is the situation of like where you are as perfect as they're describing, or if it's just in their head, I feel like this is the kind of situation where it's almost like I'm seeing that image. Have you guys seen that meme of Megan Fox and the guys on the, like, there's this like little young guy trying to give her a rose, and she's just like, she doesn't notice. There's like paparazzi everywhere and it looks very chaotic, but he's trying to give her a rose and she doesn't see it, and the look on his face is like so sad. It's a funny image. You should Google like Megan Fox rose meme. I'll try to remember these things, but I often like black out while I'm doing my readings and like don't remember anything I said. So I might not remember. So if I don't link it, Google that image, because that literally like sums up how this person feels for you. And that's why I'm like, I don't know, like I'm not trying to like put anyone down, but I'm just like, I feel like this person is so biased that I'm like, I don't even know if you have your life lined up as perfectly as they say. I feel like you would be like, no, I don't. I'm not like this super organized, like superwoman that they think I am, but that's just how they view it, as like you're like CEO and just so perfect and so amazing. And as I'm saying it, exactly, the sacred woman. Like, I mean, I'm not making this stuff up. This is how this person views you, as just perfect, basically. And I just think that that's hard sometimes. It's like, it's so flattering, but at the same time, and yeah, luminosity, which is the other card. Like, whenever I get this card, it's always like, especially a male who really idealizes his female partner. Like, you know, the light is like streaming out. They just see you as like so beautiful and perfect. So, and same here, even though this is inner peace, it's just like they really idealize you so much. Just all the cards are about that. The gardener is really about them, first of all, wanting to like tend to this relationship. The gardener is really about the kind of divine masculine role in a relationship, which is more to take care of the divine feminine. You know, the divine masculine and divine feminine all have different parts to play in a relationship, but the role of the divine masculine is more, you know, according to like spiritual doctrine and stuff, to like take care of his partner and make sure she's okay. And then when when he's done all that work, then the, you know, divine theory of all this is that she can blossom and bloom and be her best self. And so I feel like that's what this person wants to do. They really have a lot of love for you, and they really want to like rise to the occasion and be this kind of hero for you that they know you deserve. But we also, and something else about that. So we also got observer, and this is what Spirit is like, don't skip over this, because I get so many cards and there's so much information coming through that a lot of times not a lot of times, but sometimes once in a while I'll end up skipping something, and then after the reading I'm like, oh, I didn't mention that. So this person also watches your social media. I don't think you'll be surprised by that. I feel like you probably already know that somehow. I'm not feeling like that's like a secret. In fact, I feel like for some of you, this person doesn't even hide it. Like I'm seeing like they'll always watch your like Instagram stories or something. Like they don't even use like a fake account or something. Like a lot of times you see that where in readings, the person will be watching social media, but they'll be doing everything they can to hide it, you know, and using like a throwaway or a Finsta. But this person, I feel like they kind of want you to know. It's almost like I feel they're really afraid that you're going to move on to someone else. They're really afraid that you're going to, this is maybe why we got the 3 of Cups, because I don't feel like this person is in a relationship with anyone else, although they could be in some cases, and that did come through. So if that is your case, like, yeah, that this card could definitely mean that. But I feel like for a lot of you, they're not actually in a relationship with someone else, but maybe this is just a fear for them, because I do think they are afraid you're going to move on and that you're going to find someone else. And so it's almost like they want to like mark their territory and let you know, like, hey, I may not be texting you, but I'm not out of the picture. I'm still watching your stuff. And so I think if you're getting a vibe from them of they're into you, but then you're kind of confused, I feel like you're the kind of person that is very like nice and sweet and might be the type to, like, I don't feel like you're that fully yourself in a way. Like, I feel like you're not the type to be like, oh, hell yeah, I know I'm all that, like, or whatever. You're the type to more be like, well, I mean, I guess he likes me. I don't know. And it's like, he definitely does. He thinks you're amazing. He's so attracted to you. And so, like, if you have friends who were like, well, he didn't call you, he didn't text you, so he's not into you, he doesn't care anymore. It's like, just don't listen to them. When I was young, I used to think that too, and it's definitely false. It got me into a lot of trouble with guys, because I'd be like, oh, well, if they're not reaching out, then they don't care. And then, you know, find out later that it's like, then they, a few years later, will reach out to you and be like, oh, I had the biggest crush on you and stuff. So just know that if you're not hearing from them, they definitely really do like you. They really do have feelings for you, and they really do think about coming forward to you, and I think that they will. And I would say if you're trying to encourage them to come forward to you, the only thing you can do is keep being yourself and be patient, and know that this connection is being divinely guided, but also that maybe not that you're a judgmental person, because I think this fear of judgment that this person has is nothing coming from you. It's just that they feel you're so perfect that it's like now they're afraid, you know? It's like if you saw your absolute favorite celebrity in the whole world out to eat, you would freak out. I remember there's this like band I really like, and a few years ago I literally bumped into one of the members, and I've seen a lot of celebrities and like never cared, but when I bumped into this person, and they were also so nice, I flipped out, and I was like telling my friend about it. She was like, why do you even care? They're not even that big of a band. And I was like, because I like love their music. And it's kind of like that. Like, I feel like it's nothing. And when she bumped into me, like I said, she apologized. She was so sweet. And she was like, oh, sorry about that. And so she technically bumped into me. I didn't bump into her, but she was so nice about it. And I could barely speak. I was like, oh, sorry. And then I like ran off because I was just so like, I couldn't speak. I was just so overwhelmed because I like love her music and the messages and stuff. So I feel like that's the case here. Like, it's not like it's an insult to her that I was like unable to speak. I wasn't like, oh, she's so judgmental and she's gonna think I'm an idiot, and so I'm not gonna speak because she's mean. It was just like I had so much respect for her that I suddenly found myself losing like the ability to function like a normal human being. And I feel like that's what's going on here. This person, if they're not coming forward, it's because they're afraid of your judgment. And if there's one thing you could do to increase their chances of reaching out to you, it would be, you know, somehow, I don't even know how you do this, but like, you know, maybe making it known that like you're not going to judge them or something, like, because I feel like they watch all your social media or something. Maybe you could post a story like, the best part of someone is their flaws or something like that. Like, find some quote like that you could like post to your stories or something, so that they will be like, oh damn, maybe she's open or something. Like, I don't know. I just feel like this fear of your judgment is holding them back, but I think no matter what, they're gonna come to you, and the best thing you can do is just keep being yourself. They already think you're perfect, so there's no need to really change anything you're up to, because they already think you're just like the ideal woman, the sacred woman. And yeah, I mean, this is definitely a flattering reading, a flattering view they have of you. And I would just feel, feel pleased about their opinion of you and flattered and stuff. And just know that like it's being divinely guided and that it will happen in the right time. I think that's why we got serendipity reversed, is because Spirit is saying like, we're not going to let them meet at the wrong time. Like, this is supposed to be, it is serendipitous, but right now you guys are kind of on a pause right now. Like, but I feel like you guys are going to come together in the future, because this connection is far from over. There's so much emotion here that I just think at a certain point you guys are going to have to be in contact or reach out, or there's going to be some connection that happens, just because there's so many strong feelings that I can't imagine that they will just, drift away. So I hope that helped you guys. If it did, please leave it in the comments. And I have been meaning to say this, but I said it in the opening, but I don't think everyone watches that. If you have a specific request for a reading, so like a specific area of love you'd like to know about, or work or whatever, leave it in the comments, because I'm open to doing all kinds of readings. Obviously, I have to check in with Spirit and make sure that that's, a good general topic for everyone. But if you have a certain type of reading you'd like to see, please let me know. I'm definitely open to doing them. I want to help people. So if there's something, you want help in, just let me know, and make sure to like and subscribe. I post these videos every few days, so if you want to see more, subscribe, and I will be back soon for your next reading. Have an awesome day, you guys. Bye. Hey Pal 2, so this is your reading. You guys have the blueberry ice cream with a piece of cilantro stuck in for some reason, but that's why we love these little dessert creation things. So let's get into your reading. What does Pile 2's person think of them? What does Pile 2, the Blueberry Sundays person, think of them? What does Pile 2's person, the Blueberry Sunday, think of them? One card at a time, please, Spirit. One card at a time. So we already got the Six of Swords and the Three of Wands. Page of Cups. So I'm already feeling so much enthusiasm coming from this person. Wow. And we got the Knight of Swords, as I said that, and the Page of Wands. So exactly. Like, I already feel this like really excited energy, and the Ace of Pentacles. So yes, this person is very, I don't know why they're so excited. I don't know. Like, I literally feel this jittery, excited, almost like the energy before you go off on like vacation, and you're like packing the night before and you can barely sleep because you're like, I'm going to Disneyland the next day, and you are just so like excited you can barely function. So I don't know why this person is so excited. But then, okay, we got the Nine of Swords. How does person choose person think of them? How does person choose person think of them? Okay, so I feel like, yeah, this person, I mean, the energy I'm feeling is just very excitable, very, like, I feel like they just have a lot of enthusiasm for you. They, I feel like they're just excited about you. I don't know how else to describe it. Like, they see, like, potential from you or something. But it's almost like they're delighted with you, like you're like a little toy or something that they can play with or something. They just really feel like thrilled about the idea of you, if that makes sense. And there's so many cards about that. You know, we have the Fool, we have the Ace of Pentacles, the Knight of Swords, the Page of Wands. This person is, I feel like they just, they're really like interested in you, and you kind of like get them going, you know. They have very happy energy, which is kind of interesting because we did get the 9 of Swords, so I'm trying to see, and the 6 of Swords, so I'm trying to see kind of what that's about. But I just feel like there's a lot of excitement and anticipation and almost like butterflies coming through, you know. So let's pull some more cards and see what else, because I'm kind of confused about some of this energy. So we got Y upside down. Go the distance. I just feel like this person has so much energy for you. It's almost like stamina. I'm hearing like stamina, like in bed, kind of. I don't know. Maybe it's, you know, sexual interest. I don't know. I feel like this person just feels very drawn to you, very excited by you. I have to be honest that I do see a little bit of sneaky energy coming in. So, you know, whenever I get the 5 of Swords in a reading, I'm always kind of like paused, like what's going on here? Because it can be like a sneaky energy. And I'm wondering if that's where the kind of, I'm almost feeling or hearing like he. Kind of like a little creepy laugh. I don't know, but it could be a good thing, you know, it could be a bad thing, but let me pull some more cards and see what else is going on. What does pile 2's person think of them? Okay, we got the 10 of Cups. We got the King of Cups reversed. We got the Empress. We got the Strength. Wow, we got a lot of major arcana. Okay, we got the Hanged Man. And we got the 9 of Pentacles. So yeah, there's in this pull, we got the 8 of Pentacles reversed. There's a lot of cards just having to do with like celebration and stuff. And we also got the 2 of Wands, the 2 of Swords reversed, and the 6 of Swords. So I feel like, I don't know, I feel like in a way this person is just really excited with the prospect of you. Like they think that you're kind of like this, like star keeps coming to mind. And I remember when I was doing the reading, it stuck out to me when I was just doing this. As soon as I said specifically, what does pile 1's person think of them? Literally at that moment, I pulled the star, and I feel like that's their thought of you. Like the star can mean something totally different in, you know, traditional like tarot and stuff, although it can, you know, speak to like celebrity and stuff. But I feel like this person sees you as like a star, like a celebrity level star, kind of. Like that's what came to mind with just like the phrasing of me asking that, and then it was like a star came out, like the star. I feel like this person just does think of you as this incredible, beautiful energy. And it's kind of like they're gloating. Like we got the Empress, and look how she is. I love her on this card because she's just such a princess. It just looks so stunning and so beautiful. I just love that dress and the whole vibe with the tiara. I think that this person really sees you as such a prize. And it's almost like they're gloating to me. Like they're like taunting me, like I get to be with her, not you. And I'm like, okay. I don't even know this person. I'm not trying. But it's like, I feel like this is the kind of person to brag to everyone they're with and be like, no, I'm with them. Like, they're the kind of person to almost assume everyone is trying to date you, like, because they think you're so, like, amazing and so hot and got so much going on that they're just convinced that, like, if you go to the grocery store and have to get, like, ham from, you know, the butcher, that the butcher is, like, flirting with you as, like, they're slicing the ham for you, you know? Kind of a vibe. And they're like, hey, step away from my girlfriend. Like, it's like this person is just so convinced that, like, you are amazing, that they're kind of like patting themselves on the back of, like, yeah, and she's with me, or I got her. Which is interesting because we also got a lot of, like, almost depressed cards. We got the Hanged Man, we got reverse King of Cups, we got the Nine of Swords, so we got the Two of Swords. So I'm kind of not sure why this person is in such a jovial mood right now. I really don't. I've never really had a reading where there's like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know why they're so, like, cocky. So let me pull some more cards. What does pile two's person think of them? Give your relationship a chance. So we got codependency and give your relationship a chance. Flirt. Forgiving and learning. I'm kind of wondering, like, did this person, for some of you, are they like a womanizer type of energy? Because I feel like the way they are talking is just very, like, it's almost like F-boy or something. Like, it's very like full of themselves and kind of almost childish. It's kind of like I don't know. Like, I just feel like they kind of, I don't know if maybe they're just pleased with themselves in general, or they're really into you. But I just feel like this person, this energy that I'm getting from the reading is just so kind of cocky and almost gloating that it kind of, I don't know, it kind of concerns me a little bit, because I think that it could be kind of maybe not the most mature attitude to have, I guess. So let me pull some more cards. Sorry that I'm really confused by this reading, to be perfectly honest, but I have to, you know, be honest with you guys about what I'm picking up on. I can't give you, like, a fake reading. So we got Five of Pentacles reversed. We got the Nine of Pentacles reversed. What does pile two's person think of them? King of Wands. So they have a lot of sexual desire for you. The Two of Wands. The Knight of Cups. The Two of Cups. King of Pentacles. So yeah, I feel like this person is a little bit full of themselves and kind of, they have a lot of sexual attraction for you. But I also feel like they're kind of at a time when they're really, 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 like, not very serious about life. They're kind of like having fun, and they're kind of in this, like, braggy energy, I guess. I don't know how to describe it. But it's like, I keep seeing in my mind, and I apologize to anyone. I don't like this guy, and maybe some of you do, but I would not be happy if someone compared someone I was dating to him, but John Mayer. Like, I remember when John Mayer gave, like, the crazy interview to Playboy, and now he said he was in a really bad time in his life. That's what he said. He said some really crazy quotes in that interview. If you haven't read it, you could always Google it and see all the things he said, because there's multiple weird, problematic stuff that he spoke about. And he said later on that he was at a really bad time in his life, and he was like, everyone in Hollywood, like, I was so full of myself. I had become very, like, cocky and in my own head about, like, my success coming in Hollywood and having all these yes people. That was his excuse. And I feel like I'm getting that same energy here, where, like, this is kind of someone that, like, thinks their S doesn't stink, if that makes sense. Like, not to get vulgar, I'm trying not to curse, and so many curse words are coming through in this particular reading. But I just feel like this person is a little bit full of themselves, and it's kind of like a little irritating to me, just as the reader, because I'm like, dude, we're trying to get an honest answer. I'm trying to figure out for this person what's going on. So I don't need to hear you just bragging all the time. So what does pile 2's person think of them? So we got tankard, celebration, fun, and enjoyment. So this person might be, like I said, a little bit of an F-boy or a party boy. So, you know, someone who just goes out all the time. So we got July. We got vine, unicorn, and unicorn. So unicorn is use your intuition to make beneficial changes, and vine is seek out information that will help you. These cards are so hard to shuffle without like having them fall out. It's really kind of annoying. I think because they're such a different shape. So we got rat, someone working against you or behind your back, and ring, a marriage will take place, either romantic or business. Interesting. So I don't know what to think about this reading, because I feel like this person is kind of all over the place, and we're getting a lot of contradictory information coming through. Some of it, I do feel like they, you know, romantically are very interested, but then I also feel like I don't know if they're in that place in their life where they're at the place where they can like fully make a commitment kind of a thing. I feel like there's also just an immature energy where they kind of don't know what they don't know what to think. So July and September might be significant to you guys. It also might be the period when they might come forward. But I just feel like this person has a very full of themselves type of energy. And so it's not really my favorite energy coming from a romantic partner, but obviously to each their own. Some girls are totally okay with that, or some guys are totally okay with that, you know, and they like that. They like the level of confidence or whatever it is. Let me pick up all these as well. Oh, I need to get like one of those nets under my desk that like catch the cards as they fall out. So we got May, September, and July. I do feel like so maybe something about this is going to happen in the summer. I don't know for sure, but I feel like we got all the summer months, so that's kind of interesting. I almost feel like this is like a summer romance kind of vibe, like even if it's not and you guys met during the winter, I feel like this is like the energy of like a summer fling kind of a thing. Like it's just not necessarily, you know, you guys are gonna sit around and read like the deepest poetry together, but it's just like fun. I feel like this person is very sexually interested in you, but I also feel like they're very charismatic and very, sorry, okay, got all these. I feel like they're very charismatic, and they have a lot of, we just got lighthearted, carefree. I feel like that's kind of this person's personality. They have a lot of like opportunities from different people. They have a lot of different options for like who they could get together with, you know? And so I feel like that doesn't necessarily mean though that this person is like using you kind of a thing. I'm starting to get a grip more on the energy towards them. I am starting to get more insight from spirit about what's going on. Sometimes you have these readings where at first it's like pulling teeth, and then it's like, oh, okay, that's why this conflicting energy is happening. So I feel like this person in general is someone who has a lot of romantic options. So I don't feel like this is like the school nerd that has never kissed a girl kind of a vibe. Definitely not. I feel like this guy is charismatic and probably has a lot of romantic options. This is probably someone that you like is like the life of the party, or just is like on the football team, or has some kind of like social status clout kind of a vibe. And you probably like know that about them, that they may have dated other girls or have had other options. Like, I'm seeing, like, this is so bizarre to even say. It's embarrassing to say, but I have been watching this season of Paradise Hotel. It's actually kind of an interesting show. And there's like all the different guys on it, but two of them are kind of like big losers in my opinion, just being blunt, not mincing my words. And then there's like two really cute guys, and anyone who watches this season, I won't even need to say which guys are the catches and which ones aren't, because everyone already knows. And it's that obvious. But one guy in particular is like so gorgeous, and he's like a football player, and he literally has so many girls kind of throwing themselves at him in the house, but he's loyal to his girlfriend, so he stays away, and I'm like seeing him in my mind. As far as I know, he did cheat on his girlfriend a couple times, and so that's why they went on the show to fix it out. Anyway, not trying to promote this show or like tell the whole story, but I'm just seeing a guy who has like a lot of options. And I only bring that up to say, like, I think he did cheat on her twice, which is totally messed up. But he's also like so apologetic on the show and genuinely willing to do whatever she wants to like move past it. And, you know, so many guys will be like, I want to move past it, but they kind of seem like they're lying. He just seems like he really, really, really means it. And I feel like I'm not saying this is the exact situation, because some of this energy, I do think this person has been deceptive in their past with other people. But I honestly feel like in many ways they feel differently towards you than they have felt in the past. And I'm not just saying that. I feel like this person, you know, it's almost like they're studying contradiction. Every time I say one thing about them, I get like a message from Spirit of like, well, and actually it's kind of the opposite also. So I think this person has really hard to pin down energy, which might have been why I got like the he and the trickster energy kind of, and the Five of Swords. Like I think this person is kind of tricky, just in general. But they, you know, I feel like they have had a lot of different girls or different partners that they could pull from, you know, that they could be into, and switch the genders or whatever you have to do if you have to. But I feel like at the end of the day, when they met you, it was something different, something new, you know? And now I feel like they feel about you where they might have to like step it up a little bit, and maybe, it's almost like they've been coasting along on this vibe they have of like, I'm the big man on campus. Look at me. I have like these looks, and I have like X going on financially or whatever. Although I don't think this person is like I don't think they get their status so much from their wealth. I feel like it's more from their personality, from their looks. I do feel like this person is good looking, and whatever they look like, I feel like it's been easy for them to find like sexual or romantic partners kind of a vibe. So, you know, people can look different ways to accomplish that, but they've just never had a problem kind of being like lonely or worried about like rejection or anything like that. But I feel like, so they're kind of like the ultimate bachelor, but then when they've met you, it's like now you're bringing in this other energy to them. And I feel like they feel more willing to like put it all on the line for you, or more wanting to, you know, have things be more permanent. It's like they've always wanted to like play the field, but then when they met you, it kind of brought something else. It brought another emotion, and now they kind of are thinking about, what would it actually be like to like be totally monogamous to this person, and what would it be like to wake up next to them every day, kind of a thing. What does Pile 2's person think of them? Wow, okay. So we got soulmates and the silver waterfall. So yeah, they do see you as like a soulmate energy. And I also feel like they just see you as more of like the type, like I'm hearing like wifey material. I feel like this is someone that they're not like the deepest person ever. Like I don't feel like they're the type to like write poetry and stuff. But the emotions they feel towards you, the emotions that you brought out towards them has brought them into something different in their life and kind of awakened this side to them where now suddenly they are aware of like a different depth that they have to them. I feel like this person has been really flirty, has been really open to everyone, and it's almost like they're all about freedom. We got dating. I feel like this person has dated around. They've been with a lot of different people, but then now it's almost like you have like more of a steadying energy. I feel like wow. So yeah, we got yin and yang as I'm talking about that, because I was just about to say, I feel like you have more of a steady energy from them. It's funny because I think a lot of people would have thought that this person, because they are like a partier and they're so much fun, and I feel like in many ways, people would have thought that this person would have been with their counterpart kind of a thing, like someone who's also wild and crazy or is from the same scene. And I feel like people wouldn't have necessarily matched you guys together because you guys are kind of different. Like I think obviously this is a general reading, but I feel like for so many of you, you're kind of like almost not bookish, but kind of like you are more the type to stay in on a Saturday and not go out and not be dancing on tables and not be like taking shot after shot and going crazy and like, you know, wearing a tiny little skirt and like high heels and showing like you're a little bit more modest and you're a little bit more of a homebody type. And a lot of people might have thought like, oh, they would never match up. Like they're way too different, but there's this connection you guys have. And it's almost like you ground them because they're so plugged into this crazy fun world that they live in, or this lifestyle that they had, which was like all about fun all the time, kind of hedonistic, kind of just not necessarily about like permanent things in life, but more about like, well, what do I feel like doing right this second, and screw the future, screw like hard work, I'm just gonna be having the time of my life, and that's all I care about is like having a good time. And then you came into their life and have showed them like, wow, actually it can be really cool to like take things slow, or to like just, you know, not be so wild and crazy. It's okay to stay in on a Saturday and like do homework, as crazy as that may sound. Or it's okay to not have to like go out to a party and know 20 of the people there. It's okay if you just know a couple close friends and, you know, you have a good time with them. And I feel like that's not something this person would really have ever been interested in until they met you. And then you brought this different side to them. They're very sexually attracted to you. I'm also feeling like they probably wouldn't have like waited as long or been as patient with anyone else, but they're very sexually attracted to you. I keep hearing like She's All That, like, you know, the movie She's All That, how he like takes the like nerdy girl and then turns her into the prom queen, but then he falls in love with her in the process. And I'm hearing from Spirit, like they wouldn't have been as willing to wait or to like take things as slow with you, but they're so sexually attracted to you, like in a way that they have never been before. I almost feel like if you guys had a relationship that moved faster sexually, like they would have been out, because it's no offense to you, but it's just like, that's their MO. Like they kind of like hit it and quit it with a lot of girls, you know, or a lot of people, you know, if you're a gay guy asking about another gay guy, or, you know, a lesbian asking about another lesbian, or a guy asking about a girl, whatever it is, you know, switch around those genders, because yeah, this is totally like applies to everyone, you know. But I feel like for this person has dated around a lot and has been with different people and is kind of like a lighthearted party animal vibe. but then they came across you, and now you're much more grounded and you're much more relaxed. And so they've almost been living in like this trickster energy. Like I feel like they like play pranks and stuff. I feel like at the beginning, maybe that's why they wouldn't tell me what was going on at first. It was just like a prankster energy, and I was like, what is this? Like, what's going on? This is such a weird reading. Like, but I feel like they do that kind of thing a lot. Like, they have this great sense of humor and it's really fun, but they also sometimes need to like buckle down in life and like get things done and be very serious. And they're not so much good at that. I feel like that's much more your lane, and they feel so inspired by you because of the fact that you have, you are so good at that side of your life. You are not like a reckless and irresponsible type of person. You are very balanced. You get things done, in like an appropriate way. And I feel like this person feels like they can learn a lot about life and stuff from you. Let me get some astro dice for this. Okay, so that's always the one that I like have trouble reading. Pretty sure it's Capricorn, because I'm pretty sure Capricorn is the one that I just always mess up this sign. So yeah, that would make a lot of sense. We got Capricorn, 9th house, which is ruled by Sag, and we got Jupiter, which is also ruled by Sag, or it rules Sag. So yeah, that makes a ton of sense, because I just feel like, so Jupiter and Sag is like the lighthearted, like jokesters of the zodiac. They're like so kind of chaotic and like fun party animals, and I definitely feel like that's the energy coming from this person. And then we have Capricorn, which I feel like is your energy, and you're much more balanced, and you're much more earthy and grounded and down to earth, and much more like, well, we've got to get our work done before we party kind of a thing. And so I feel like that's why you guys are like this yin and yang balance, and this person is learning to kind of ground themselves. I feel like it's actually hard for them sometimes, because they are so much in that like fun energy, like fiery, feisty energy, that it's hard for them to kind of meet you. And like, I feel like you have the kind of relationship where they would like be asked, or you would be like, did you make sure you like made all the calls you needed to make? And they're like, well, no, I didn't, but anyway, we're going to meet like Sam for dinner, let's go. And you have to be like, no, call them in the car on the way there, kind of a thing. Like, you would be the kind of person to like remind them of stuff. You guys might not even be in a relationship, but I feel like this is like the energy. And in a way, I feel like this is if this person like hasn't come forward towards you, it's because they're kind of afraid of what that would mean for their life. Like, they like having fun and they like enjoying their life, and they're not necessarily looking to like change everything and suddenly, be really disciplined. Like, I feel like for most of their life, that's been like the horror story for them. Like, how George Clooney got like married at like 60. That's like what they were looking for. And then you come in and you have a very, like, I feel like they're just so sexually attracted to you. But I also think that it's something that I would keep a little bit of a distance, because I just feel like this person is figuring out their maturity, and I totally get that they are moving from one stage to the other, and that's a process we'll all go through multiple times in our life. And it's important, to understand that and be like open to that. But I also feel like this person just has a lot to figure out. And there is a little bit of immaturity running through this energy. And so it's important that you protect yourself and just don't get too drawn into like, well, I want to have fun and blah, blah, blah. It's like, it's totally fine, but figure out what you want before you come to me, before we get linked, before we make it social media official. Because I just think this person has a lot of time. They're very much someone who lives in the moment. They have a lot of stuff they need to figure out, and it's going to take time for them to move through all that. And so for your end, I just think, you need to protect yourself, and you need to make sure that you have up some energetic blocks, because you just don't want this person. I think that they're just a little immature, honestly, and I think they're still figuring things out for themselves. And I think there's going to be a lot of false starts and stops. I feel like this is the type of person who would say like, no, wait a minute, I'm all the way in love. I don't need to do it. No, you can trust me. And they would even totally mean it, but they're not fully there. They're not as mature as they should be. So the silver waterfall really talks about psychic and energetic protection and making sure that you are psychically protected from other people's energy. So I wasn't quite sure why it came up in this reading, but now it's making more sense. I just feel like you need to make sure that you're protecting yourself a little bit from this person, because I don't think they have bad intentions. I just think they're very impetuous and kind of immature and do things like spur of the moment, and they'll just be like, oh, well, I just felt like doing that. And it's kind of like the cheating thing where that guy who came to mind, like he so regretted it later, but in the moment he cheated on his girlfriend. And I'm not saying this person is going to cheat, but I just feel like this person has a lot of like wild oats to sow, and they need to like figure it out before they settle down. And they're still so like wild, like wild. I'm seeing like a wild Mustang or something. And even though I feel like they want to change for you and they really do value you and they really are kind of in awe of you, and I also feel like they're super sexually attracted to you. Let me just say that again. And that's what keeps them coming back. They also just aren't that mature. It's like they want to do all that for you, and they probably never felt this way about anyone else, but are they capable of it? They may want to do it. They may be like, okay, I'm going to go off and get a job and I'm going to win her over and this is it. I'm never going to go out and party again and I'm committed. But are they actually capable of it? That's a different question. So I actually think this person has a lot of emotions towards you, but I just feel like their energy is still shifting so much. It's almost like it hasn't even been resolved yet. That's why it's hard for me to read their energy, is because I feel like it's still developing and I'm not sure. I feel for some it's going to go in one way and they're going to kind of really learn to settle down so you guys can meet in the middle a little bit. Not saying they have to like completely shift their personality, but I think they do need to be not partying all the time or not talking to all these girls or not talking to all these guys, whatever the case is, they need to be a little bit more in a grounded energy for you guys to have this relationship. And for others, I feel like they're going to continue being this exact way where they're just kind of partying and having a good time and flirting and just caring about being free. And that's just not really an energy that can work for like a relationship, because a relationship is really about two people coming together and making a commitment. And I feel like this person goes back and forth. They would like to be capable of committing, but are they? I don't know. They have a lot of energy towards wanting that for themselves. I feel like if you ask them, they would say like, yeah, I'm all the way in. That's it. No, but it's like, can you? Like, I don't know. It's like Khloe Kardashian and Tristan Thompson. He promised like he was going to change, and he said he was like done with it. And then like, apparently he cheated again this week. It's like, this happened. Like, someone may have the best of intentions, and in the moment they blow it. And so I don't know. It's hard to say for sure. I don't think this person is necessarily a bad person. I'm not picking up on like deliberately malevolent energy. I just feel like they're very, what's the word? Like spontaneous and kind of impetuous. And they tend to do things without thinking them through. So if you were to like put all your eggs in this basket and like, totally link yourself to this person, it wouldn't necessarily be someone you could fully depend on of like, I know they're never going to cheat even if they go out to that party. I know that I can depend on them to be like sober and able to drive me to the airport if something happened to me, because they're always wanting to have fun. So, again, I don't think it's a bad person, but it's something that I would just say maybe like develop and wait for this person to come to you, because I think that this energy is still developing and it's going to be interesting to see what direction they take it. But I don't think it's decided yet. It's very interesting though. So I hope this resonated, you guys. I still feel confused by this reading just because I think this person is very confused. I think this person needs to do a little development of self and figure out some things in their life. But I would guess this person comes through in future readings because I just feel like this is not the end of your story. There's so much more else to develop. So I'm curious to see how it goes and curious to hear from you. If you did have someone like this in your life, please let me know, because I kind of want to know. I'm very intrigued now. This relationship has piqued my interest. So anyway, I hope that helped you guys. I also wanted to tell you, if you guys have a specific idea for a reading, so like you want to know about a specific area in like your life, drop it in the comments. I started this channel to help people. So if you have something you like really want to know about, obviously it can't be crazy specific, but if it's like a general specific topic, drop it in the comments, because I am definitely looking to create readings that will help people and resonate. So just let me know if there's something that you like, a certain area that you want to know about, because I am all ears. So I hope that helped you guys. Please like and subscribe. I post these videos every few days, so if you want to see more, subscribe, and I will see you guys in a few days. Hope that helped, and have an awesome day. Bye. Hey Pile 3. So this is your reading. You guys have this orange or mango, I don't know, flavored ice cream. It looks really good. There's like a really elaborate looking raspberry. So anyway, if you like fake food like me, I'll show that to you. No one else cares, but let's get into your reading. What is Pile 3's person thinking about them? Okay, that doesn't surprise me. Is this upside? I think that was reversed. I'm already getting this energy that is really like sorrowful and sad. A lot of reversals. Ooh, oh wow, a lot of reversals. What is Pile 3's person thinking of them? Okay, so we finally got some uprights. We got the Hierophant, and we got the Three of Hearts. The Three of Swords, excuse me. What is Pile 3's person thinking of them? So I feel like this person, first of all, they're just so upset. I just feel it so strongly, and now we got the Death card. Doesn't surprise me. They're just so upset. They feel like this was such a loss for them. They just feel so devastated, really, you know, completely devastated. I'm hearing like this really sad song playing in my mind. And this person is just like beside themselves. They're really sad. They're just really sad. I don't know what else to say. You know, I just feel like there's this big sense of loss. Like they wanted it to work out, and they just feel this devastation that it didn't. And that's just like, it's almost like a depressed energy. Like they just feel so upset. They're just kind of in like mourning. So we got the Knight of Wands reversed. So yeah, there's multiple. So we got Knight of Wands and Knight of Swords reversed. So they really want to come forward, but then they're not. They feel unable to. We also got the Knight of Cups. So the Knight of Cups, or the Page of Cups. Sorry, those are both pages. So we got the Page of Wands and the Page of Cups. I'm so bad at like the Knight, Page, Lord, Lady, like system of like England or whatever, where it's like feudal and like all the titles and stuff. I'm so bad, but and so we got the Knight of Cups reversed. So that's really interesting. So yeah, this person really wants to reach out to you, and there's so many just things blocking that. They want communication. I mean, I don't even know what to say. Like, there's so many reversals. This is insane. We also got the Nine of Wands, and then that's reversed. So this person, I just feel like they're under a tremendous amount of personal strain. And we got the Death card again. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. If you don't know what's going on by now, like, I don't know what to tell you. We got the Three of Pentacles. We got the Fool. But I actually think in this context, it's because this person feels like a fool, and that's something they tell themselves. And we got the Queen of Swords reversed. So they really want to reach out and have communication with you. And this is something that's just really coming through really strong, is like this desire for communication and then having it be blocked. They really see you as so powerful, and I feel like in their mind, it's like, if we could just talk, then things would be okay. But there's also a lot of, I have to be honest, resentment coming through. I think with the Queen reverse, it's almost like because they feel like such a major L, like, from this relationship, and they feel so like upset about it, that they've turned it into sometimes like bashing you in their head, you know, being like, well, she's not that great, she's stupid, or he's stupid, whatever. Like, this person has made it into kind of like, well, I don't need them anyway, or like, they're not all that, they think they're so great, but they're not, kind of a thing. And so, you know, it's just, you know, we got December, if I can ever pull this card out. I feel like December is a period of, you know, all the plants and everything being dead. You know, that's the period where you're not even seeing some of the like leftover like leaves from November on the trees, like dead leaves. Everything's completely dead. There's nothing coming up in the ground. And that's kind of where this person is emotionally. I think this person, you know, there's resentment coming through. There's anger coming through. And I think that's where we're getting the Queen reversals, is that this person has, sometimes I think they think about you in a negative way to make themselves feel better, where it's like you'll post on Instagram and they're kind of stalking it, because I do think they do stalk your social media, and then they'll be like, that looks so stupid. I would never go there anyway. She looks like an idiot. Or like you're at a Mexican restaurant and it's like, she probably doesn't even speak Spanish. You know what I mean? Like, the stupidest excuse they can come up with to like hate on your photos is like what they're doing, you know? It's like they know they're being irrational, but they can't help themselves. They're trying any way to feel better than and you know, if that means like bashing you, or you know, or saying stuff that isn't true, like that's fine with them, because they just need to feel better, you know. They just feel so upset about how things went down. So we also got younger woman. So it might be that you're the younger woman or they're older than you. But I'm not necessarily getting an energy super strong in that direction, one way or the other. So if it doesn't resonate, then just disregard it. But if it does, you know, then that can be a clue from spirit that it's talking to you. All of these can be clues like in that direction. So Bo, you are highly thought of. Feather, someone you know is undependable and insecure. Flute, disappointment in a friend or lover. Like I said, this person's in a very negative mindset. Very negative. I mean, do we need more cards to say the same thing? It's just like, yeah, they're bitter, they're upset, they're mad. Okay, we got dagger. That's even worse. Fear, worry, tense situation. I mean, this person's really mad and they're upset. It's actually kind of, I don't know, concerning almost. Like, it's like, wow, they're so upset. They're really mad. They're really sad. They're really, how else, what other adjectives can I use for sad? They're just kind of depressed. I also feel like they see that there's a lot of competition for you. In their mind, you may be like, well, there's really not, but that's what they see or perceive is like you have a lot of people after you, you have a lot of people into you, kind of a thing, and it's almost like they're bitter and disappointed about it, and they're, you know, they're angry. I'm seeing like in my mind, like there's a joke or something someone made online, like I think they said it's like Schrodinger's woman. So you can Google that if you would like to. But I think the joke is like how a woman can exist at the same time twice or like at the same time as being the hottest girl ever and a like evil effing jerk at the same, in different language, different, an evil effing jerk at the same time, depending on whether she reacts, you know, nicely to you hitting on her, kind of a thing. And so that joke is like how a guy will slide into a girl's DMs and be like, you're so beautiful, baby. And if she's like not, you know, feeling it and she's like, leave me alone, then it's like, he'll be like, you're really ugly and you're disgusting and you're gross. And like, I feel like that's, I'm not saying this person would say those kinds of really nasty things, but it's almost like that energy. Like now they're telling themselves like, well, she's not that great anyway. She doesn't, she's not that special. She thinks she's so great. She thinks she's better than me, but she's not, kind of a thing. Like it's like this anger, you know? What does pile 3's person, the orange sundae, think of them? Oh, that one almost fell. What does pile 3's person think of them? So you got the Queen of Wands, the King of Swords. I feel like this is like, no, it's not safe for work, so I'll try to blot that out. But like, this is what this person's like fantasy would be. Is like they want you kind of at their feet, kind of a thing. And they're mad that you're not, you know? Why do so many of my cards fall? It's so annoying. I feel like other readers don't have that much of an issue. Maybe I'm just clumsy. So you guys got the Star and the Knight of Wands. So yeah, there's like a lot of sexual attraction for you. This person does want to come forward and have like a sexual relationship with you at the very least, and they think about you sexually a lot. The Devil. So I feel like some of this person's reactions to you are emotionally immature. I mean, duh, like, of course. And there's this lack of willingness on their part to take responsibility for everything that has happened and just be like, yeah, like I messed up, or I could have done things differently. Instead, they are kind of, I feel like they blame you sometimes. And it's not really like the best look, I don't think. I feel like this person just feels very rejected. In a way, they feel like they have built, like they thought that you were going to come to them, or that, you know, they had done enough. Like they kind of felt like they had created enough of a life that you should go for them, kind of a thing, you know? And then when you didn't, it was just like this huge knock to their ego. And now I think they blame you, and they're in like a negative mental place of like resentment and anger, and just feeling like this big loss, and kind of feeling like they'll never come back from it, or feeling like they'll never have a connection with anyone else like they had with you. But I feel like they wouldn't put it that way to themselves. Instead, it's something along the lines of like, well, she's not that great. She thinks she's so cool. She's not. Those kinds of things. But it's just another way for them to disguise their deep feelings, which are, you know, shame and anger and hurt and frustration, because they would like to be with you. They actually think that you're really amazing and very sexually attractive. That's coming through really strongly. And so because they haven't been able to make that happen, it's like they turn it into, she's not that special. But it's just like a cope, because, you know, they're kind of reeling from the hurt, they're reeling from the loss, and they're trying to make themselves feel better and kind of salve their ego a little bit. What does pile 3's person think of them? Give your relationship a chance. Wedding. Healing family issues. Chemistry. Let your friends heal you. Codependency. Honeymoon reversed for yourself. I just feel like this person, so healing has come through a lot. I think this person has a lot of healing that they need to do with themselves. They have a lot of issues that they need to work through so that they can come from it from a more mature place and just be okay with, the fact that you guys didn't end up together, because I think that they blame you a lot for it, and they have this negative mentality. But it's almost like they were dealing with a lot of negative stuff that they had to fix about themselves. And you're just like a proxy for that. Like, you're just kind of the person that got caught in the crossfire. But I feel like whoever they dealt with, they just weren't at a mature enough place to make it happen and to make things work correctly the way they should have worked. I feel like this person, they have a lot of immature, kind of dysfunctional ways of going through the world. And it was almost like they pinned all their hopes on your relationship. Like, well, if I can make it work with her, then everything will be perfect. There's also this worrying about like what other people think. And I feel like they really, really, really wanted to post you on social media. They really, really wanted like their friends and their family to see you dating them. They might have had a really unsupportive family, the kind of family that would be like, oh, put them down and stuff. And so they kind of felt like if they could be with you, because they see you as so amazing and so, like, I don't know, respected, or just they see you as like this prize. So they felt like if they could be with you and they could post this on social media, that would kind of solve all their problems, and then their family would finally give them the respect, and then their coworkers or their friends or whoever at school or at work would give them the respect that they want. But it's almost like in that process they mentally turned you into this object. Even if you are a prize, it's still an object, right? Not like a human being. And that's why they're kind of outraged, like, how could she say no when she's the object? Like, she's how does she have a choice of her own? That's not fair. That wasn't a part of the plan. Oh, why is this jostling? By the way, I also wanted you guys to tell me, I switched the angle of the camera because I was jostling the other camera too much. So I switched to this, which is, a different angle. So let me know which one you guys prefer, because I want to make a angle that will make people happy and be able to see the cards really well. So just let me know which one you guys like the best. So boundaries is reversed. So yeah, there's this desire to also post it on social media that's coming through again. This person really wanted to post you on Instagram and stuff. And I feel like they thought about that a lot. It's almost like they had fantasies of what their friends would say, or what their parents would say, or what their siblings would say if they saw you. Like, they'd be like, wow, wow, if you got that. Like, that's how they view you, at least. Like, I feel like they see you as if you were the puzzle piece, that if they could fit that into their lives, everything would click into place and everything would be great, and obviously that's a lot to put on someone. And so you guys not working out in whatever way, now there's a lot of anger on their part, and a lot of depression and a lot of sadness of why didn't this work out, and just heartbreak, and I think sometimes it does go into thinking badly about you or speaking badly about you, because it's a way for them to deal with the pain, because I really feel like the pain for them is overwhelming. I mean, we've had so many negative cards, that I just feel that this person is going through a really difficult time, period. And this situation they just feel very hopeless about it. They want to talk to you, but it's almost like they can't even bring up any energy to, they can't bring up any, I'm hearing inertia. It's I don't know I'm also seeing like the laws of gravity or the laws of motion, by like Einstein or whoever, where it's like an object in motion must stay in motion, or energy cannot be created or destroyed, and all of those. I feel like it's like this person has no energy. So they can't move forward. They can't suddenly get things going from here to there because there's literally nothing. There's no gas in the engine, kind of. Like, they're so depressed. They're in a really bad place. And so they can't mentally be like, okay, let me brush myself off and I'm just going to reach out. And it's okay if she says no, I'll be fine. I have other things going on. It's like they're very negative about it. They're negative in general. They're going through like a dark night of the soul, I think. And I feel like they do have bad stuff from childhood. Like, I feel like they maybe had a very unsupportive family or something, or they just have some mental health stuff that they have to work out and figure out. And so this is where they don't really have the boundaries. I feel like they just put so much on you. It was almost like because they haven't had this stuff with their family, or they haven't had the most supportive friend situation, where they put all their bets on you. Like, I'm seeing someone at a casino who's like, I'm going all in on this one horse, and they put their entire life savings on the horse, and then the horse loses, and they're obviously going to be a million times more devastated than someone who's like, well, yeah, I put 200 on that horse, but I also put 400 there, and I put 100 there, and I'll be okay. It's not my life savings. You would be rightfully devastated if you did all that and lost all that. And that's what this person, I think they had a lot of dreams about you guys together and about what that would be like. I feel like they fantasized. They spent a lot of time mentally dreaming about you, thinking about you, like wondering about you. And this is something that, they really fantasize and just spend a lot of time in the astral realm thinking about. You guys might have had, or might still have, psychic connections in the astral plane. Maybe not on the physical plane, but in the astral plane, it's like you guys hang out and you guys talk, and there's this connection there. And so because of that, this person felt really connected to you. And I feel like it's like they would have been able to get over it if it was just like a physical interest or something. But they felt so spiritually connected to you that they just, when it didn't work out, or since it hasn't turned into what they wanted, now it's like this devastation, because they kind of felt like you guys had something a lot deeper than what it was, kind of. And so now there's this feeling almost like it was like a divorce, or like the loss of like a 50-year marriage. You hear about like couples in the news that are like, they celebrated their 75th wedding anniversary. And I feel like that's like the energy this person felt like it was. And they might not have ever even texted you or reached out. Obviously, it's a general reading. So for some of you, you guys might have been in a relationship, but this person is acting mentally kind of like it was like the love of their life, and that's how they see it, And I kind of feel like it wasn't that deep. Like, it wasn't a situation where you guys were together for 40 years. I mean, maybe that was the case for some of you. Obviously it's a general reading, but I feel like for many of you, it was like maybe you guys never even got together. Or if you dated, it was for like a few months. But this person is just like mourning this loss so deeply. They feel like it was like their soulmate that's been taken away. And they like can't mentally get over it. They can't move on. Let me get some astro dice. What is going on for pile 3? So we got the 8th house, Jupiter, and Gemini. So the 8th house is really ruled by Scorpio, and it's all about loss. It's all about endings, transformation, death, sexuality, and kind of the darker things of life. Saturn is Saturn, and it's, definitely the hardship planet, definitely about difficult lessons. And it's actually traditionally kind of associated with the devil a little bit. And we got Gemini. So this makes sense that we got the 8th house and Saturn, because I just feel like, again, this is such a dark period for this time. Saturn really, to me, a lot of times when it shows up in a chart, it indicates hardship, but it also indicates growth and positive movement forward if you can learn the lesson. It's like the hardest teacher in class, I always say, but then afterwards you ace the standardized test because you had to like work so hard the whole, semester, that all the information is like ingrained in your mind. And I feel like that Saturn, like you learn so much during the difficult Saturn transits. I actually have Saturn transiting my first house right now, which is a whole different story, but you grow a lot during those times, and it also kind of gets rid of like delusion. And I feel like maybe this person was a little bit delusional in how they viewed you. Like it was almost like they just put all the eggs in that basket of like, we're going to be together and everyone's going to think I'm amazing. They have a lot of respect for you, and they see you as being very respected in the community. They see you as someone that has a lot of like friends and people who respect and admire you. And so the idea of being linked to you was something that they really were excited about. And so, yeah, I mean, and also like, again, there's a lot of sexuality here. I think this person is just also very sexually attracted to you. And so that's an important part of it too. I mean, we can kind of sometimes overlook that in the spiritual community, but that sexual desire and that sexual link that people have, that can be like that can be a huge fuel that ends up fueling some of these karmic relationships you'll see where someone's like, why are these two together? But it's like spirit causes this intense sexual desire. Just feel like this person is so attracted to you that it's made it really hard, because it's like when you do post a photo on Instagram, even though they're making fun of it to themselves and being like, that's lame, that restaurant is so uncool, I can't believe she'd go there, or whatever stupid, thing they're gonna try to make fun of, they're still like, but damn, she looks really good. Damn, she's really hot, So it's hard for them, because even though they're trying to kind of put you down and act like they were never into you, like they're so sexually attracted that it just keeps them coming back and keeps them ruminating. And then we have Gemini, and Gemini is all about communication. And I just feel like, again, there's this theme that this person really wants to communicate. I do feel like this person feels like if you guys could talk, that it would be all okay. I feel like when you guys have had conversations, it's been those kinds of really deep, wonderful conversations that like just flow so easily, where this person was kind of shocked when they met you, because I feel like you guys have very well matched interests. Like it's almost like you guys have the kinds of interests that a lot of people wouldn't be into. I like kind of like Aquarian type interests. Like I'm almost seeing like Star Trek or something like that, or maybe it's not Star Trek, but it's kind of like you guys love to watch like war documentaries together, kind of a thing, or like Bigfoot documentaries or serial killer like documentaries, kind of a thing that like a lot of people would be like, no thanks, especially not on like a date. I don't want to talk about this. But you guys have this like shared interest that kind of both of you are like, I can't believe they're into that kind of a thing. And so that's one of the reasons why this person became so into you, is because they feel like you understand them in a way that like no one else ever has. That they really feel like no other woman is going to be able to, or man, if you're like, gay asking about another man, or a lesbian asking about another woman, whatever. But the point is that they feel like you're the only one that they have like been able to talk to in a romantic sense, that they have been like, damn, this person, we're on the same page. They understand my references. They get everything I'm saying. They really respect you. And they felt a sense of like freedom being around you. Like, oh, I can finally be myself. They don't think my interests are lame. They don't think that I'm a loser for caring about whatever. Like, they get it. We speak the same language. It's almost like you guys are the only two people in like a school that speak like, I don't know, Korean or something. And, it's like and that's like a metaphor for like, you guys are the only two that have watched every episode of Star Trek or have, read Lord of the Rings like 3 times each, and so all the same references, or you literally only speak the same language, but I feel like, or are interested in the same like foreign country kind of a thing, but I just feel like you guys have these particular interests that sync up so well, and that's why this person really felt like it was a sign that you guys were supposed to be together, and that you guys are more than just like I don't know, interest or a hookup, like a romantic interest or a hookup. They felt like it was like soulmates kind of a thing. But I also feel like this person got carried away, and they don't have the self-esteem to go up and actually put themselves fully out there and risk rejection. So instead, they've kind of blamed you of like, I can't believe we didn't get together. It's kind of their fault. And meanwhile, it's really not your fault. Like they didn't take the steps they needed to take to try to get you guys, to the romantic place they wanted. But instead of reflecting on that and taking that in and being like, yeah, I messed up in that sense, there's a lot of blaming you and being really upset with you. I just feel like this person doesn't have the coping skills to deal with all the pain that they have. They don't have the coping skills to be like, okay, I messed that up. Maybe I can try again. She's still around. There's still a chance. We're still XY age, and we can probably, try it again if I can get the balls to reach out. Instead, this person just goes into like a spiral of kind of like shame and being like, well, I'm mad at her, and just they don't know how to like process their negative emotions, and they're just kind of overwhelmed. I actually think this person, they could be like a water sign or have some water in their chart, because they just feel like they have these out of control emotions. That kind of reminds me of like Cancers or stuff like that, or Scorpio, which we did get, where this person just, it's like their emotions have completely run amok. And I just feel like they have so much, they really want to come to you, like this guy with his flowers, and like be this chivalrous guy that comes and, I'm trying to get that light out, comes and like puts it all on the line and is like, listen, I want you, and that's it. Let's make it happen. They would like to be able to do that, but then they just don't have the nerve. They just feel like a clown, kind of like they just feel like they're not good enough for you, and they have this negative self-talk that like gets in their head. I feel like they would never actually tell themselves like, I'm not good enough. They'd more say something like, well, she looks really bad, or she's not that smart, or she's blah blah blah. Like they just make up stuff in their head to feel better, to kind of justify why they're not with you. But at the end of the day, I think what it comes down to is they don't feel like they're good enough. Because if they did, I think they would reach out and talk to you. They really want to talk to you. And there's also this sense in their mind, like I said, that just, if we could just talk, it would just all be okay. And she would know what she would know what I'm saying. She would be happy to talk to me, and we could all like smooth it over. That's how they feel. But then it gets blocked out, and it just doesn't actually come to the forefront. So I just think this person really needs to, I don't know, maybe go to therapy, maybe, I'm not sure, learn some better coping skills for their emotions, because I just feel like right now it's almost like they can't move forward because they're so overwhelmed by their feelings for you, that it makes them, I feel like they're like kind of retreating into their own little shell almost, because they feel so hurt. They really feel hurt by this situation. And they might just be depressed in general, but I'm just feeling the emotions coming from them as really upset, really sad. It's just really sad. I mean, it's sad for me to tap into it. They feel devastated. In fact, yeah, I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot of energy. I feel like they beat themselves up a lot, and they're also not even in the, like, I feel like there's like the mourning stages or whatever, the stages of loss or grief, where it's like step 1, anger, step 2, blah, like sadness, step 3, ownership or something, or I don't know what it is. But I feel like they are in the very early stages. Like they haven't even they're not even capable of working through it right now to get to the like, okay, so this was my part and I'm healing and it's fine. They're just kind of stuck in, and I feel like they have been here for a while. I don't feel like this is something that just happened like last week, but I feel like they're just still stuck in like stage 1 and 2, which I think is like anger and grief or disbelief or something like it. I feel like they moved past disbelief, but now they're in that like horror and shock and anger stage where they just keep stewing in these negative emotions instead of moving forward to like, okay, that happened and I can't take it back, but I'm I'm going to move on. I'm going to try to be more positive. They're just stuck in the negativity. I also feel like they feel like they put a lot of work into you, and you might feel like, huh, you never even texted me, dude. It's a general reading. So for some of you, it's going to be, you guys had more of a full-fledged relationship, but I'm picking up on the energy. And I do feel like for some of you, you're going to be like, excuse me, how dare you even say that when like you didn't even reach out to me. But in their mind and how they feel is that they felt like they put their all in it. They felt like they put themselves on the line. You knew where they stood and you still rejected them. So again, it might be totally inaccurate because I also feel like this person is just in a very negative mindset that I don't even trust all the things they're kind of telling me. I'm like, okay, like, yeah, but it's kind of like when you have a friend who's like really drunk and they're like crying about their boyfriend or something and they're like, this happened, I'm never gonna date again, and you're like, I know you're upset right now and I get what you're saying, but I don't actually think that's true. This person's in such grief that it's almost like they're drunk on it. They're almost unable to see clearly because they just feel like such a loss from you. It's kind of like, I don't know why, like they should, probably try again or get to a place of hope, but right now that's just not happening. Maybe they are genuinely going through a period of like depression, like clinical depression or something. I'm not quite sure, but the energy as far as directed towards you that's coming through is just real loss, anger, sadness, disbelief, hurt, and I think a certain element of blaming you and being like, it's her fault. But I think that you have to understand that that's just coming from their pain. It's not actually like it's not actually that they, are believing all the things they tell themselves, or that they actually think, your Instagram stories are stupid or something. I just feel like they get themselves into that place. They feel like you leaving has been like a real injustice and that it's been really unfair. Like it's like you know what I mean? They get into this like I've been wronged type of energy. And so there's kind of a vindictiveness a little bit, and it's definitely sad, but maybe it's wise to keep a little bit of distance with this person while they figure out, their energy a little bit and maybe get to a more positive place. I don't know. It's sad to tap into this, and I hope that this person can work through it, but don't take it on or blame yourself, because I think this person just has a lot of stuff they have to deal with, period. But it is very sad for me to tap into it, but hopefully there'll be a better resolution in the future. So I hope that helped you guys. Please leave it in the comments if it did resonate. And also, I always say this, I'm open to all kinds of readings. I started this channel to like help people. So if you have a specific reading idea that you would like to see, if you're like, I really want to know about, this aspect of the relationship or something, obviously it has to be like somewhat general. So it can be like super, super personal, but leave it in the comments and I will obviously check in with Spirit and see if that's a topic I should do. But I'm really wanting to help people and do readings that resonate. So let me know if there's something, you want to know about. But I will be posting in a few days regardless. I post every few days. So if you want to see more videos, make sure you're subscribed, and please like if you liked the video, and let me know if it resonated. So yeah, I will see you guys in the next reading. Hope you have an awesome day. Bye. Hey Pot 4, so this is your reading. You guys have this, I guess it's a cherry because that looks like a cherry. So you guys have this cherry berry sundae. with a piece of cilantro stuck in, which I guess maybe complements the flavor of the cherry. But anyway, interesting addition to a Sunday. But let's get into your reading. So what does pile 4's person think of them? What does pile 4's person think of them? You guys got the Page of Pentacles and the King of Cups. So we got the King of Wands, the King of Cups, or excuse me, the Nine of Cups, but he's kind of like a king. The Knight of Pentacles, okay. The Lovers, wow. The Ten of Wands. The Knight of Swords. Page of Swords, the Wheel of Fortune, the Nine of Wands, the Empress, the Ace of Cups, and Judgment. One more card for pile 4. Okay, Justice reversed. Okay, so I feel like this person, you know, first of all, they have a lot of respect towards you. They have a you know, intention towards like making active steps to come towards you. And so that's exciting. It's not just like, it's like a pie in the sky idea that they're kind of like, well, it'll work out or something. I feel like they see you as deserving of the best, and that's what they have the intention of, you know, doing is kind of giving you the best if they can. And they really see you as someone that, you know, they have an intention to come through and who can to come towards and who can really bless their life, if that makes sense. Like, if like being with you is something that could really bring a lot of blessings for them. So they see you as a blessing, which is always nice to hear. What does pile 4's person think of them? We got the Ace of Wands. So there's a lot of sexual attraction towards you, that's for sure. Okay, one card at a time, please, Spirit. What does pile 4's person think of them? So we got the Page of Pentacles, and that one's reversed. We got the Ace of Pentacles reversed. The Six of Wands reversed. The Tower reversed. Interesting. One more card for pile 4. What does pile 4's person think of them? So we got the Ten of Swords. So I feel like this person, you know, their thinking towards you is like, this is something they're really willing to work for, willing to work towards. But then there's also this kind of feeling of like a loss somewhat, or feeling fear of like what's going to happen. I feel like, first of all, they see you as someone that has a lot of interest from others in you, and so they kind of view you as someone like a prize that they would have to fight for, if that makes sense. And someone that they would have to be kind of really dealing with a lot of like competitive energy around. And I think that's something that, you know, kind of intimidates them a little bit. So it's definitely something that is like weighing on their mind. What does pile 4's person think of them? So we got Loyal Heart, Mending, clean it up. Deep knowing, to be fair, observer, and go the distance. So I feel like this person has a lot of like commitment towards you and kind of like intentions towards you. It's not like they see you as just sexually exciting but a flash in the pan. They're just, I feel like they're just really kind of committed. Like they see you as someone that they have to work for, but I feel like they are okay with that. They also see you, I think, as someone that they're going to have to acquire a lot of financial success in order to be with. Like they don't see you as the kind of person that they can pick you up in their like Honda Civic or whatever, or Ford Pinto or something, although Honda Civics are way nicer than Ford Pintos, but like, you know, they just see you as someone that they're going to have like that Lamborghini or that, you know, Mercedes or a nice high-end car and like a nice restaurant and nice clothes and stuff. And so this is something that they're really feeling like, okay, I'm going to have to do that. And that's okay. Like they're kind of okay with it, but they're just like, that's the situation. And right now they're working towards that. They're trying to fix their life. They're trying to fix everything that they have in their life. I feel like they just don't feel financially ready. You know, we got the Ace of Pentacles reversed, and I just feel like right now they just feel like they're kind of, I'm hearing in my mind the song Gold Digger by Kanye West, but I don't think they're calling you a gold digger. I'm just hearing this one line, the only line that I'm hearing, and it's not, I haven't even thought of this song in years, so it's so funny that Spirit brought this to mind. It's so like, it's so Spirit, because I don't listen to the song ever. And the one line I'm hearing is, but she ain't messing with no broke, you know. And so it's like they just see you as not messing with anyone broke, any broke dudes. You are not going to be about that. So it's like they just know that. They're not upset about it though. They're not like mad. They're just like, okay, that's what I have to do. So it's kind of like, oh, see, we got the Empress again. They see you as so Empressy, which is such a compliment. I love that when I get like a guy's energy and he's just like obsessed with his partner and sees her as such a prize. I'm like, yes, love that. So we also got the Fool reversed. I feel like this person, oh, and we got the Knight of Wands. So I think this person, you know, I really think that they are kind of just, they feel like they're at the beginning of this journey. Like financially, they don't feel like they're ready yet, but they have every intention of getting there. You know, they're willing to actively pursue this. They want to get to here, the King of Wands, although it's like X-rated. This is like a sexual card deck. By the way, I keep meaning to say, if you want to see a specific type of reading, please leave it in the comments. So if you want to see like an 18 plus sex reading, that sounds really raunchy, but like, you know, like what would they want in bed kind of a reading, or anything, or like career, you know, what career would be good for me, or whatever you want, please leave it in the comments, because I am trying to make readings that help people, and I love all my loyal viewers. So if there's something you want to know about, like leave it in the comments, and I will definitely probably do it, because you know, I'm a new channel and why not? And I really want to help people. So I'll just listen to Spirit and check with them. But if they say go ahead, like I will do your reading for you. So if there's something you want to know about, drop it there and I will check them and do it. If I can, of course, if Spirit says yes. But we also got the Emperor and it's reversed. So that's the thing. They want to be like Emperor and Empress. Like they want to be like, let me block out this lady's like just, but they want to be like here, you know, and like, you know, equally matched, like powerful people. But right now they're not in their power. At least that's how they see it. They are not as powerful as you. They see you as so powerful and so amazing. And so it's kind of like they're just in a really negative space, not able to like, I shouldn't say in a really negative space. I was actually I was briefly thinking about pile 3, and they're in a really negative space, but I think this person, they're just like, I'm just not financially at that place right now. I'm just not financially, I don't have things lined up, all my ducks in a row. So we got torch, spiritual development, enlightenment, awareness and understanding, and ladder, climbing towards success. And that's exactly what this person is doing right now. They're just totally focused on getting the bag. We got January, and I'm thinking that that could be significant in your relationship, but it could also be, and we got September. I feel like those are the months when like you like start your New Year's resolutions in January, you know, because it's like the beginning of the year. And that's when you're like, okay, it's time to work. And then September's the same. For me, September, I think from the memories of going to school, at least in like the US, we have school starts in like late August sometimes, but I feel like most of the time it starts in September or I don't know. But like I always associate September with like the first day of school, or really getting into that groove of like waking up early and going to school and like waiting for the bus, and you can kind of start to like smell the leaves changing. And even though I'm an adult now and I don't go to school, I every time it's September and I smell that smell of like the first leaves starting to turn, I always feel almost like, okay, it's time to go back to school shopping. And I get like amped up. I get like, okay, I'm gonna like work really hard this year, and I'm gonna like make a schedule and keep my date book, and I'm gonna be handing all my assignments early. And then I'm like, what am I talking about? I'm not going to school. Like, but I just get in that mode because that's what September puts me in. And I feel like that's what this person is doing. Like they are in such a mode of like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to get there. I'm going to be there. We got rooster, which is an arrogant, boastful person you should not cross. But I don't think this person is arrogant or boastful necessarily. I could see that being I just think this person wants to get from where they are now to point B, which is like more of the success. They want to get there, but it's not because they're like a jerk and they're like wanting to, you know, be like mean and like, you know, have like a bunch of servants or something. It's like they want to get there for you, to impress you. It's actually pretty sweet. I mean, I'm liking that, you know. I feel like they really dream of taking you out to like nice restaurants and that kind of a vibe. And as I said that, we got honeymoon in the picture. I don't really usually focus on the picture, but we got like honeymoon, and it's like in Venice. I feel like this is the kind of thing this person would like to do for you, is like take you out to like Italy or to, you know, the French Riviera or something, or like something really fancy and nice, and just stay in like the nicest hotel. Those really nice hotels in Venice are like really expensive, like hundreds and hundreds a night, and like they're in old, like, you know, because they can't build more land like here. Like it's already tricky kind of building in Venice. They can't build a skyscraper on like a floating island, so there's like a limited number of hotel rooms, and they're all expensive, and they're like all old and high end. And I feel like that, so this person wants to give you like the best of the best of the best. I dropped my cards, and of course they're not coming up. I feel like I'm the clumsiest tarot reader. Okay, stay optimistic about your love life, reconciliation. So I do feel like this person has the intention to come forward. We got separation reversed and true love. So if you guys are not together, which I think is the case for a lot of you, this person does have the intention to come forward, to make the effort. And that's what I like about them. I get so many readings on here of like people that are like, I'm in love, but I'm afraid and I can't come forward. And I'm kind of like, dude, sack up and let's go. Like, not to be harsh, but I, you know, get so many of these readings where people are like afraid, or they're not feeling good enough, or they're just, you know, and it's like they just can't make the effort. And I'm like, if you just texted this chick, she's asking about you. If you were just to send the text, this would all be averted, but you have to be lazy. But this person, I know I shouldn't be so judgmental as a tarot reader, but it's like, come on, some of you guys, they're just, it's like, come on, you need to step up. This person, I feel like, is willing to step up, which I love. So we got chivalry, and then we got worthiness reversed. I feel like this person just doesn't feel worthy of you right now, but it's not in like a, I'm depressed and I'm like, it's not like this super dysfunctional vibe. It's just like, they're like, let me get there. I'm on my way. It's not like they're beating themselves up to be like, I'm a loser and I'm never gonna accomplish anything. They're more along the lines of, I'm trying to get there. I will get there. I know I'll get there. Just wait, wait and see. So it's not like they are in a really dysfunctional energy where you're like, ooh, yikes, when you get the worthiness reversed. It's just that they're on the path, they're on the process. And I feel like this person, they know how to act right, which I really like. They do have the chivalry, and so it's like when it comes time to come to you, I feel like they are going to actually do that. And so it's just, they're on a journey right now to acquire the money, acquire the finances, and then I feel like once the finances come, then they'll be able to move towards you, and then they'll be able to make things happen. But they just are not willing to come forward unless things are correct. Like, I'm hearing like, you better come correct. So maybe that's what they think you would tell them. Like, don't be coming, looking bad in like an old nasty looking suit or something. Like, make sure it's cute, make sure it's new, make sure it's, so yeah, this bread, period of prosperity and abundance. I think this person they see you as someone that will require and need them to have their finances lined up. And I think that they're on the process of working towards that. What does pile 4's person think of them, Spirit? Door. Opportunities are waiting for you. Carrot. Opportunity or windfall. Grapes. Time to go out and have fun. Sorry that I always drop so many cards. Horse, short journey, and ear, good news. I feel like this person, so this is just like the journey that they're on, but for some of you, it might be like a shorter period. They're working on getting themselves financially right, but I feel like they really do they see you as also someone that has other competition. So I feel like they might, for some of you, reach out to you sooner because it's like they feel like if they don't, that like someone else will come in and swoop you up, kind of a thing. So even if they feel like they're not fully 100% ready, sorry about that, guys. We had a bit of an interruption, but yeah, so I just feel like this person, they're working towards coming towards you, not just necessarily financially, but I think that's a big part of it. But just overall, I also think they're trying to like heal themselves, and they're just doing a lot of like work in that realm, which I really admire so much because, again, I feel like they're really taking the initiative and they're willing to like learn and they're willing to grow, because it is hard work when you're doing that like self-growth stuff. It's really difficult. A lot of like dark stuff comes up, and I just feel like this person is willing to make the effort for you. They are wanting to do everything they can to try to come towards you. So there's this energy of like, I'm willing to do it. I'm in it. Oh, Mountain Road, you were on the road to success. So I just feel like this person really, they're acknowledging that like there's a break in it, but they want you to know that like that's what they're coming for it, they're building towards it, and I just feel like they don't feel good enough right now, but they're trying to like arrange things so that happens, and so that you guys are able to come together, and that they're able to make things happen. Valley, deep personal strength and peace that assures success. And we also got Tulip, great passion, and July. So they might be coming towards you in July, and that might be the time when you actually hear from them, and that, you know, they make the romantic overtures. But yeah, that's what this person is really working on. They're working on bringing themselves up to the King of Wands position, so that they can really, you know, just make, I feel like they want to come towards you with a lot of romance and with, like, you know, the glamorous stuff. They want to be like that kind of Mr. Big character, or that, you know, that guy that just has like the perfect date and everything's fantastic. And that's what they really want to bring towards you. There's also the Lovers card, so that really speaks about soulmates and about like a deep connection. So I don't feel like this person's just doing this, you know, to get girls in general. I feel like it's directed more specifically at you. And this is like, you're like this kind of like vision they keep in their mind's eye of like, okay, I'm going to work really hard and then I can get her. Like, you're like the carrot that's being dangled in front of them. And we got carrot. So exactly. Like, you are like the carrot. You know how like in front of a horse, you dangle a carrot to make the horse like keep going or whatever. That's what, like, you know, that's what you are to this person. You're the reason why they're willing to put in all the work and keep going and keep working through the hard stuff. So let me get some astrology dice. What astrology dice do we need for pile 4? How is pile 4's person thinking about them? So we got Scorpio, we got Mercury, and we got the 11th house. So 11th house is kind of related to Aquarius. And then Mercury rules over like Gemini and Virgo, and Scorpio is ruled by Pluto. So we all know what Scorpio is. Scorpio is all about that sexual thing. It's also a very powerful sign. The ancient ruler is Mars, which is the sign of like achievement and go-getter. And I feel like that's what this person is trying to do. But, you know, their sexual attraction to you plays a big role in this. And so we also got the 11th house, which is the house of friends, house of like contacts and like relationships with kind of like acquaintances kind of, or people that you're like friendly with, but not like besties, you know? And then Mercury is communication. So I feel like this person wants to have communication with you. They want to reach out to you, but then it just hasn't happened. And, so I don't really, you know, I'm not sure why it's not happening. I just feel like this person, well, I think it's because they're just not at that place where they are comfortable like coming to you. They want everything to be perfect, but there is a desire for communication. I feel like this person, they just feel like they need to do a lot of work on themselves, you know, and they just don't feel good enough quite yet to come to you. I feel like they, you know, I'm hearing like you're not like other girls. Like they maybe would feel comfortable coming forward for other women, but not you, because they just see you as like so perfect, so amazing, so wonderful. So this is, even though that's like a big compliment, obviously it can be kind of annoying when you're like, well, I want you to ask me out now. I'm okay with you. But there's just this dream that they have, and they're really focused on being at the very best. I feel like sometimes it can be a little dysfunctional, or sometimes they can present an image to themselves, of themselves to the world, that's like not fully honest, because they're so convinced that like they're not good enough as they are. So it can be kind of detrimental at times, where, you know, they would maybe be better off just being like, well, this is me and this is how I am, and that's that, and take it or leave it kind of. But they just are convinced that like you're so amazing and you deserve the world. So they're going to work to get there, but they're not there now, you know? And there's just, yeah, I think that when it comes to you, you know, there's this desire to reach out, and there's this knowledge that you have other competition around you, but then it's kind of like they just can't, they're just not ready yet, and they're just on this journey and they're wanting to get there, but yeah, it hasn't happened yet. And so until they get to that point, I just think they're not going to be wanting to have those conversations or to reach out, even if they want to. You know, they're kind of going to keep holding themselves back until they get to that place. What does pile 4's person think of them? The Sacred Woman. So yeah, they have a ton of respect for you. They really see you as so incredible. And I feel like they see you as someone that has brought them onto like another plane, or like has helped them level up. I'm hearing like level up from Beyonce. So I feel like that's something they're really working towards. At the same time, I feel like this person is, you know, Spirit is kind of like saying like they don't need to change all this stuff. Like they're okay as they are. So there might be some setbacks they face on this journey where it might not be just them going straight to the top and becoming like CEO and making millions easily. Because I feel like Spirit kind of wants them to learn to be okay with who they are as a person. So they might bring them like setbacks. I feel like sometimes they have like worn a mask or not been fully honest with you about who they are. Not that they are super like deceptive in like a horrible way, but I just feel like they have tried to present an image of themselves to you that isn't fully accurate. Like they would be the type to lie about like their living situation. And if they have roommates, they tell you like, oh, I live alone. It's a really nice apartment, but no, you can't see it. You can't come by, kind of a thing, or like lie about their job or something just because they view you as so like amazing that it's this, like they've just decided that this is what they have to do in order to get you, that you won't be okay with them if they don't kind of pretend to be something they're not, if they're not coming at you with like this, you know, Mr. Perfect kind of vibe, Mr. Suave, you know, Mr. Cool, then they feel like you'll reject them because they feel like you have so many suitors and so many other options. I feel like they also watch your social media and they feel like that you have other guys into you. I could see them like going down your followers list and like looking at all the guys and like trying to check out their page and make sure that you guys aren't like hanging out, you know? It's like, even if you're a demure person, they're just like convinced that all your guy friends want to sleep with you and that, you know, that everyone in your life is trying to like get to you and trying to take you away. So it's very like they're just kind of consumed with this idea of like, I gotta get some money, I got to get to the bag. And we got Queen of Pentacles. You also might have some money of your own where this person just doesn't have the same financial situation and they're trying to get there. You might be someone that like even was born into money and they weren't, and so now they're feeling like, I gotta get my finances up. So yeah, there's this aspect of competition. Again, we have this 3 of Cups, which is like a third party in the relationship. So it might be also that they have their eye on a specific person, like an ex or something, or some guy that they're convinced, or some, again, switch the genders if you know, are... if you have to switch things, whatever gender around, do it. This is just an energy reading, and like the genders come to mind when I'm channeling, but go ahead and, you know, switch whatever around you have to. But I feel like this person is convinced that you have competition in general, and there might be one person they have their eye on of like, it's him. I know she's hanging out with him, kind of a thing. And so it like irritates them, and they use that as a lot of fuel of like, okay, I'm going to stay late at the office. I'm going to do this. I'm going to get there, and then I'm going to win her over. And that getting you would be like winning the world. Like it would just be like everything to them, and then their life would be perfect, which obviously we know that's not really what happens, but they just have this intense focus on you, and then it's, you know, morphed into like focus on money and finances and getting that money and making it happen, you know? So, and then I feel like because you have so much money, it kind of, or that's how they perceive you, as like a bougie, has all her stuff together, like you could be from a wealthy family, or that's just how they perceive you, as like you have finances that they don't, and you're just like very good at handling that aspect of your life, and they just see you as kind of this calm character that like has a lot of stuff handled. I'm hearing like it's handled from Olivia Pope kind of a thing, like, you know, she's so glamorous and just so powerful. And I feel like that's the energy they're trying to get to so they can match you. Because right now they feel like you guys aren't an energetic match. And so that's what's holding them back right now is they just don't feel like they can come forward until they have it all lined up, you know? So there's this like real desire to come for you, but then there's also this intimidation factor or almost like jealousy or constantly like measuring themselves. Like, do I measure up? I don't know, like I'm not good enough really, like she probably has a million other options, you know, kind of a thing. So I think that when it comes to you guys, you just need to have a little bit of patience, and know that this person like does want to come forward, but it's just, you know, they have to do a lot of personal development, and financially they're just not at the place where they would feel comfortable like going for you. So I feel like they're not going to come forward until that's a reality. But there's this aspect like that they really feel like there's so much like almost like luck that you bring to them, like you're like their lucky charm. I'm seeing like a woman kissing a guy's like dice in a casino. Like, it's so funny because I'm like, why do you keep bringing this into the reading? But they're feeling like they see you as like this lucky charm, or like that if you were in their life, everything would be perfect. Everything would be exactly right. Like that would be like them being at the top of the mountain. You know, that would represent that they've truly succeeded. They see you as like, almost like I'm seeing Margot Robbie from Wolf of Wall Street. You know how like she's like his trophy wife that lets everyone know that he made it and he's a success now. And that's kind of like how they view you. It's like everyone would be like, whoa, you got her. And you might not feel that way at all, or be like, I'm not the type to walk around in like little magenta bathing suits and like heels. Like I think she did that in that movie or whatever. But that's just how they see you, as getting you would be like a prize, and everyone would be like, bro, good job, bro. I can't believe you got her. Like kind of a thing. Like, and so, that's why I think that they're hustling so hard. Like they really feel connected to you, but it's also like this just being convinced that if they had you in your life, everything would have worked out, you know? They just feel like that's like the major key. Like once they get you, everything else is going to click into place. And so because of that, it's almost like they're just hurriedly working towards meeting you where you are and actually getting that money and actually getting themselves into that financial situation. And it's almost like they're in a frenzy just trying to make that happen. I gotta do it. They don't even want to really focus on anything else or like talk about anything else. They're just like, no, like I don't have time for this. I need to be working. I need to be hustling. And they're willing to, you know, kind of do whatever it takes to get there. They just see you as, you know, the thing that would like click everything into place. And so, you know, they also like really value your judgment, and they feel like you're so discerning that they feel like you being like, okay, yeah, I'm feeling it, I'm into him, would be like the ultimate stamp of approval. Or you being like, no, I'm not really like into that, sorry, would be, you know, such a loss for them, such an L. But this is, you know, like I said, this is what they want to come towards you as, is like chivalrous. You know, they want to come towards you and just have everything lined up, and like the flowers and the restaurant picked out, and the nice outfit, that little flowing cape he's got going on. Like they want, you know, the good fit where you're like, oh my God, is that, you know, Louis Vuitton or something? Like they want to come towards you with everything lined up. And I just feel like until they get to that point, they're not going to reach out because they're convinced for whatever reason that they need to get all that stuff to get you. And so even if you're like, that's not true, I don't even know where this person got that, like, that's just what they think. And I feel like I wouldn't be surprised if they don't reach out to you for a while and then you hear from them in a few years, kind of a thing. Like once they actually make the money, because I feel like there's just such a long-term energy in this. Like this is not, I want to hit it and quit it, or like, yeah, she's hot, I'd be down. This is like, okay, I'm going to make money. I'm going to start a company. I'm going to buy a house. It's like, you know, that guy on The Notebook who builds the house. And it's like, it takes him, what, 10, 20 years or something, and he's still in love with her by the end. I think like 10 years, but he's still in love with her by the end, and the whole thing he did was like basically for her. And it's like, it's kind of a crazy thing to do when you think about it, but like that's the kind of vibe. Like, this is like a long-term situation, and I feel like that's how this person views it, because they're bringing up soulmates. So they don't see you as just like a, okay, like I'll come to her once I made my first $100 and I'll take her out for like unlimited, like fish sticks at the crab bowl or whatever. They see you as like, they want a relationship. They want everything. They want it very solid. And so they're willing to put in all the work, and they expect that it's going to take a long time, which I think is a realistic attitude. But so unfortunately, sometimes it's like, okay, so that means it's going to take a while. It's not going to be like, but then those things that are taking a while, like they have a bigger foundation, they have a better foundation, they last a longer time. So I just think this person, if their higher self is telling you anything, it's just like, I'm working on it. And it's almost like they're aware that you might date other people in the meantime. And they're just hoping that you guys, they're just asking you not to become super serious about any of them. This is not my advice to you, because I don't know. And I would usually not tell someone to wait, but what they're saying, their higher self is basically saying, is like, they're okay with you dating around, because they expect that to happen. They know that like you're a beautiful, attractive woman. And so, or man, sorry, if you, again, switch the genders if you have to. But they see you as a beautiful, attractive person that would have a lot of like romantic interests around them. So they're okay with you dating other people as long as it doesn't get super serious. And that's just their major concern, is not wanting you to ending up like married to someone else, because that would be a major problem. But they don't mind if you have like a casual relationship that's like, yeah, he's my boyfriend, but it's not like you guys are soulmates and you guys are like having soul sex, you know what I mean? Like really passionate, deep sex. It's like, just like, you guys like each other and stuff, but it's not like soulmate vibe, because this person intends to be with you long term. But right now, they're just like, I have to do this to get to you. So this is how they think of it. But I get it can be really frustrating to be on the receiving end of this when you're like, just text me. Dude, what the heck? Like, I don't even need all this stuff. Just text me. But it is flattering. I think that they have the intentions. This is like the kind of vibe I feel like where, how like in the olden days, the like father would like meet the woman's suitor and he'd have like a shotgun and be like, what are your intentions to my daughter? And this would be like the guy that would pass the test. And then the father would be like, I love it, because it's like this person has very solid intentions towards you, that they're not just trying to have sex or have like a relationship and like whatever happens, happens. They're like thinking about like long-term stuff and building something that would last a long time and getting into a financial like king status, so that you guys can have this kind of kingdom together and be like a solid long-term connection. And that's what this person wants and dreams about, and that's really their fuel. But it might mean that there's a separation for a while until this person can get themselves there, because I feel like they don't want you guys to be together while they're like working things out. Like they'd be too embarrassed, to go through. I feel like they're having to change some like patterns in themselves and, work through kind of trauma. Like everyone has trauma, and they're having to work through theirs. And so, they're just too embarrassed to like show you that super vulnerable part of themselves. So they're just not willing to. So you're just going to kind of have to wait. But they are okay with you dating people in the meantime. Like they're not fully okay with it, but they're like, okay, I guess I'll have to deal with it. Like that's reasonable. They just don't want you like becoming like the deepest lovers with these other people. But they're okay with you like having, relationships or dating, as long as it doesn't get too heavy, just because they feel like they can't really ask you to wait, and it would be too selfish. Like that would be their ideal for you to wait, but they just feel like you're definitely not going to, because you have so many people interested in you. So yeah, I mean, it's an interesting reading. It's romantic in its way. It's also kind of not romantic, but then it is really romantic. So I don't know. Let me know if it resonated. I'm curious about this situation, about what's going on. It definitely an interesting reading. So I want to know if you have any specifics. I'm very curious now about what's going on here. So like I said, also, if you want to see a specific reading, please drop it in the comments. I am totally open, and I love to like help people in whatever area of their life I can. So if you want to see something specific, let me know, because I'm looking for reading ideas, and I want to make things that resonate and help people. So just, yeah, leave it in the comments. And I post every few days, so subscribe if you want to see more videos, and make sure to like this video. And I will see you guys in the next reading. I hope you have an amazing day, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.